Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Doctor Who and Autism Celebrations. Today, I'm joined with Will, and Will and I are going to be speaking about, of course, Doctor Who today, 60th anniversary, Doctor Who in general. There's so much to look forward to, and Will actually was brought to my attention by a friend of mine, Chlo, who has been on the podcast twice, I think now. Yeah. And if you go to the start of the series, she was one of the first episodes of this like November part 2 of the series. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll let Will introduce himself so he can let everyone know a little bit about him. So thanks, Will.
Right, okay, thank you very much, Mason. It's brilliant to be on the podcast. Hello, I'm Will, or well, this is sort of my catchphrase, or Tubemix, or either. And yeah, obviously, I'm a big Doctor Who fan, really excited to be talking about the 60th and the show in general. And I first remember the show in 2005 when it came back. And since then, yeah, been a fan, and it's never stopped, never stopped.
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing, isn't it? We just like it too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't imagine not liking it. So
Yeah. So you started watching it from like 2005.
yes,
Yeah. Um, and was it like the very first episode that you watched, Rose?
yes. I think it would have been. I certainly do have memories of yeah, the autons and that whole episode. So yeah, I think yeah, it would have been Rose. Yeah, yeah.
It was a pretty good episode, I think.
Yes, it was a good episode. Yeah, good introduction to a new era and a new series for that new generation. And Chris, of course, is brilliant as the Doctor. So yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah, Chris was awesome.
He was great. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
fantastic.
I think the only Doctor I can say who's gets so angry at a Dalek. Gets really angry, doesn't he? In that Dalek
He
episode.
doesn't mess around, does he? Yeah,
Yeah. Um, and I think like the Father's Day episode was I loved that one in the first
yeah,
series.
really good episode. Yeah,
I did really like the music. I kind of lean towards the music when I watch Doctor Who because it just makes you feel good, I think.
yeah. I think Murray Gold's scores particularly are really good. I think yeah, they're a big ingredient. I think of why a successful ingredient of the revival since it's come back. I think it's been a huge part of the show, the music.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's just so good. Um, I think with the music, it's always changing. My favorite, my favorite music always changes because there's too many good ones.
Yeah.
Find, yeah. So do you have a favorite Doctor, or do you just like them all?
Well, I think out of the modern series, I think it does have to be Christopher Eccleston, really. I do really like him, and yeah, his humor as well. And I also think he's the best out of the series, really gritty stuff as well. Out of the classic series, I guess I think John Pertwee's brilliant and Patrick Troughton, yeah, and of course, well, for many people, the Doctor will always be Tom Baker. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think out of the modern series, Chris, and then out of the classic series, yeah, between those three, really.
yeah. Chris is very good. Speaking about John Pertwee, I at a convention early this year, like this was
Oh
the top
wow,
prize.
yes, an old Radio Times
Yeah,
cover. There's Parky on there,
yeah.
and
This was Tom, not Tom Baker, John
John
Pertwee.
Pertwee.
And if we can see, like, this was actually the top prize, actually, at the convention. Um,
Wow, that's
and
great. Yeah, fantastic that you own that.
and it was funny because I stood outside and everyone who's winning the prizes was standing outside and not sitting down. So it's quite funny. I was outside and I won, and someone else was outside and they won one. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, um, it is good. John Pertwee, I think, has got a set in the new series with Shooty. Has actually got a velvet. In one of the episodes, he's wearing this velvet costume. So
Velvet coat, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe that's inspired by John Pertwee's Doctor.
Yeah, well, he said in an interview that he really likes Pertwee's clothes. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, no, definitely not. Um, but yeah, it's like I think the Ninth Doctor is. I think the good thing about the Ninth Doctor is the Ninth Doctor weren't the Ninth Doctor. Like I don't. Maybe we wouldn't have got 10th or 11th or 12th or 13th, 14th.
Well, yes, obviously Chris relaunched the show, and you know, it's thanks to him really that, well, and Russell obviously, but it's thanks to him that he, you know, managed to launch it really, and then obviously handed it over to David Tennant, which who even more increased the popularity of it. So
Yeah, I think David Tennant is great. He's like I think that especially David Tennant's era was the most popular. I think. Um,
yes, yeah, it was a great era. It was.
yeah, and he was only there, I think, 3.5 years, but it seemed longer than that. It did because of how
Well,
good.
I think because of the 2009 specials at the
Mm,
end of his tenure, I think that also did make it seem longer as well. So yeah, that's probably why I would guess.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I guess they didn't want to do another series because he'd had so many episodes anyway. Um, but
Well, oh, sorry.
I'm not sure. Like they did that with Jodie as well. They did like some specials. Um,
They did, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it's interesting why they do them because I do like them when they do them because I think they should be every Doctor should do them because they're seasonal. So like you had an Easter special, autumn, Christmas.
A Christmas special, yeah, exactly. Well, I think the 2009 specials, the reason why they exist was two things. One, David was busy doing Shakespeare and lots of other projects. Two, it was to allow because at the same time those specials were filming, don't forget that Matt Smith and Stephen Moffat and that crew were filming series 5 then. So that's why we had those three specials, because you know, to give the old team a send off, and yeah, to let Moffat's team, you know, film series 5, and to give them some space. So yeah, that's why they exist.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have a favorite series that you like at all? Like is there one that stands out to you that you're
Oh, probably. Um, well, I think probably. I mean, series 5. Actually, I mean, I know it's in Matt Smith's era, but I like that, and probably series 1 as well. You know, yeah, I think that has to be up there. Yeah.
yeah. Um, I liked series 3 and series 4. Um,
Okay. Yeah. 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 Series 3 was quite good. Yeah.
I liked it. But series 2, I mean, I loved it, but at the time I loved it. I loved watching it, of course. But if I look back, I said it to a few other people who kind of agree as well. Like series 2 doesn't really have much of a storyline. It's just occasional, like going on adventures, Rose and Doctor.
Well, it
Um,
does. The story arc is
yeah,
Torchwood.
yeah. But like at the start, towards the end there is, but at the start, I guess they're just getting to know each other. But I guess out of David Tennant the series, I think it gets stronger as, of course,
Yes, it
it
does
goes
get
on.
stronger. Yeah.
Which is probably the same for any Doctor, really.
Well,
Um,
yes, it takes some time because the first series they're settling in, the crew are settling in with them, so everyone's finding their feet. So by their second or third series, then yeah, they're settled in. Everyone knows each other, and it's like right, we all know each other. We can all push on without any problems. So
yeah, and with the first series of Chris Eccleston, it was like it wasn't his first series. It was like he's been there years. It kind of felt like.
well, it's kind of funny because series one, obviously, it's well documented. It was a troubled production. Don't forget, they didn't know whether it was going to be successful. So, um, it was they didn't know that it would be the success that it was now. So, series one, I guess a lot of the crew were nervous, and there was an awful lot of pressure as well. So, yeah. But yeah, no, they did a fantastic job for relaunching the series for a whole new generation.
Yeah, it was a very good start. And it's good it's worked out. From like I think series 5 is a good like your favorite one. I like that one because I love the story in it. I like the Pandora car and everything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the Cracks storyline was very good, and I think series five for me didn't have many weak episodes. Series four, there was quite a few episodes. I mean, I wasn't keen on Donna, to be honest. So, and unfortunately, she was a big part of that. But I also, I don't like the Unicorn and the Wasp. I don't particularly like the Adipose. Um, I'm
Okay.
not so keen on Turn Left because there's no doctor in it, and it's mainly Donna, and I'm not keen on her. So, yeah, series four is, but series five, I think most of the episodes, yeah, I like pretty much most of them. Yeah,
I get what you mean. Like you find actually it's quite funny because quite a lot of people like Turn Left. And I'm kind of with you on that one. I'm not a fan of Turn Left, and I guess you like it and you don't. What do you think of Love and Monsters?
well, I love Peter Kay, and I loved Peter Kay growing up, but Love and Monsters is, I think it's terrible, to be honest. I've got to be honest with you. I think it's absolutely terrible. But I think it was interesting that the Azorbalov was designed, as you probably know, by a child on a Blue Peter competition. Um, and yeah, it's Peter Kay. Yeah, I mean that was interesting cast. I wonder if Peter Kay hadn't been cast, whether there'd be a serious actor, whether the Azorbalov would be a better villain. But he was comic because Peter Kay is a comic, so they obviously wrote it to fit him. I don't know, but yeah, it's not an episode I'd go back and watch. I don't think at all.
Uh, no, I read something when Peter Kay did like a show um
Yeah,
recently, and he was asked, "Do you like your episode that you was on in Doctor Who?" And his response was, "It's terrible, isn't it? It's rubbish. Like no one likes it." And a lot of people don't. You get occasional people say they will. People said to me on here before they quite like it, and but like like you say, it is a bit weird and like the exorbitant off, of course, and you got David Tennant at the end, but um, perhaps these two episodes where he weren't in were maybe because he was doing other stuff, filming for other stuff.
yeah, I imagine so. And probably to give him a break actually, because yeah, because it's a long, 13 episodes, and don't forget they spend months in Cardiff, filming them as well. So it was probably to give him a break, because it is an intense schedule. But yeah, it's a shame. I love Peter Kay and I love Doctor Who, but unfortunately, they just Love and Monsters. They didn't mix at all. Yeah.
Is there any? Do you have any favorite episodes then that you really like?
Oh, favorite episodes. Well, I've been going back watching a few clips of episodes to get me ready for the 60th anniversary, and I have to say the 11th hour is really, really good. Still looking back on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the 11th hour was great. Favorite episodes. Well, I wasn't a fan of Jodie's, and that's not Jodie's fault. I want to point out it's my fault is with Chris Chibnall. But the Power of the Doctor, I thought was, yes, it was a bit all over the place. It was messy, but at least it was entertaining. I've not been entertained or excited by that for most of her era, sadly. I don't think I'm going to be rewatching any of it, but well, many of it, apart from the Power of the Doctor. But the Power of the Doctor, I thought was really good, and yeah, I think it's going to be one that I'm going to rewatch. And yeah, along with the 11th hour, and actually, I think the Stolen Earth Journey's End, because Davros and the Daleks, Sarah Jane Smith back, and all the other companions. I mean, it's yeah. I think that's got to be up there for me.
Yeah, really good choices. Um, like with the last era that we just had. I mean, I didn't like series 11. I didn't really enjoy. Series 12. I did actually quite like series 12 at the beginning with like Spyfall Part 2 part. I think that was good. But I like the Weeping Angel one, the Sontaran one, the Fitzy of Jadoon. There was a couple okay episodes, but they're not like you've got to go watch them again. But with like the ones that you said you really liked, Storm Enough Journey's End is I think one of the best finales. It is up there with series 3 in my opinion. Because I think that finale was good with like the master and everything. Uh,
Well, yeah, I mean, I do love some of that, although I think I'm not a big fan of the Doctor, floating and using like telekinesis to knock the laser screwdriver out of the Master's hand. There's a point where obviously Doctor Who, you can be ridiculous as you like, but actually I think there's a point where the idea is a bit too ridiculous, and I think that became too much of a ridiculous idea. I think.
yeah,
I think they went too far with that.
I,
I think.
I think they tried to act like he was a god. I think that's what they made the Doctor look
Yeah,
like.
well, the whole idea was sort of people, sort of almost praying really, and saying his name and believing in him to rejuvenate him, which I suppose that is kind of a clever idea, but I don't know, maybe the whole flying thing, that was a little bit too ridiculous looking back, I think. But no, I think there was a lot of good, and especially the sound of drums. The first part is really good. Yeah, there's a lot of good moments, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that it was pretty good. It was. But I think my all-time favorite episode is the Girl on the Fireplace. I really like that one. Um,
Okay, yeah.
um, I like the music in it. I think it's everything you need in a Doctor Who episode, like the sadness and happiness. I think, but
Yes, you need the balance. Yeah.
yeah, so it's not just one or the other. It did change quickly though, but very unsurprisingly. But yeah, as a kid, I was petrified of it because of the clockwork monsters under the bed and everything. But now I look back at it and I just like it.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah. Is there any episodes that you were scared of watching back?
Oh, there's only one episode actually, and it's probably for an obvious reason: the unicorn and the wasp. I've always hated insects, and I just absolutely that's one episode I will never ever watch again. I'm scarred by that 15 years on, and I've never forgotten it, and I'm probably never gonna forget it. It's oh yeah, I'm on edge just thinking about it. So
So is it wasps that you're quite scared of, like of them?
well, I've never liked insects at all. But well, yeah, I don't like them either. But yeah, I don't. That's the one episode I will never watch again. Never watch again. Absolutely not.
Okay. But I guess there is a scene in that episode that is quite funny. You know, when the doctor is
Oh,
poisoned.
you're talking about when the doctor gets poisoned.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's a little bit too comedic. I mean, obviously, I'm biased. I hate the episode, but for me, for me, it is a bit too comedic as well. And it's also you're probably going to think I'm very harsh for this, but I believe every episode should be important to the story arc. That's as far as I know, and maybe I made a mistake, but I don't think there's any connection to the story arc. It's a filler episode, so it's one that could easily be tossed in the bin because it's not important to the series. It's a filler episode, and I would rather there be another episode that would contribute to the more important story arc. But yeah, that's me. I know that's very harsh, but I believe every episode should be related to the story arc. Every single episode.
Okay. That is right. In some aspects, because like you want, especially now, because you don't have we won't have as many episodes as we did before. So you would want the story. What I believe in here, the thing I believe in is a story should be concluded um in the season. So
Yes,
maybe
absolutely.
maybe if they could finish it, like series 5, the silence will fall. That was the whole of series 5. It was concluded start of series 6. That's fine. But if you've
Yeah.
got something um like Flux, for example, the whole story was about the Doctor's memories, and
Yes.
the watch. And I was thinking, okay, this is looking good. And then at the end, throws it away under TARDIS. In my opinion, that is awful, because you need a story to conclude before it's finished. And yeah, I believe it. Like Bad Wolf Bad Wolf is different, I think, because it's an ongoing thing. You could always come back to that if you wanted to, like you did at the 50th. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
but I think it's important to conclude a story especially in your own era.
Yeah, exactly. Before you leave, tie up.
Yeah.
Make sure every end is tied up so that I absolutely agree. And that was a complete mess from start to finish. Most of Chibnall's era, how fitting, could only be
Yeah.
him.
I mean, you had I can name about half a dozen stories that weren't finished. Like Fugitive Doctor, perhaps, because we still don't know who that properly is. I wonder if the actor does. That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
I just thought it was a complete mess, and killing off Tecton, Barbara Flynn's character again. That was a decision. I thought, what a waste of potential. You could have had be a recurring villain, and what did you do? You just killed her.
What was the
I
point?
I thought Chris Chibnall's decisions generally were
Yeah.
very questionable, really.
Yeah. I had a conversation about something that it was actually funny on a podcast for this series, and it was so funny. It was in that Tectane episode we said about
Oh yeah.
how pointless that was to kill Tectane off, but then you have an Ood in the room. So we were saying is, what was that point of that Ood being there? Because it didn't do anything. It was just there.
No, exactly. It was just shoehorning an old monster. They should be there. They should be there for a purpose, not just to shoehorn. Now, I guess the only exception to that could be, when Jack's in the bar scene from the end of time and his cameo, and that's kind of fair enough because it's it's meant to be a small scene, a thank you. But on a big scene like that, the Ood should have done at least something, but it didn't contribute anything. It was just a pointless shoehorning.
It's quite funny though, isn't it? Why that's there.
It is, yeah. As you can hear, I do feel very strongly and very passionate about a lot of things in Doctor Who. So, yeah.
Yeah. How about we quickly move on to the 60th? So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
So are you looking forward to it, the 60th?
I am looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very interesting. Always great to see David Tennant's the Doctor back. I'm not so enthusiastic to see Catherine Tate as Donna back. I was never a fan of Donna. I would have rather Martha came back, to be honest.
Who knows? She
Uh,
still might.
well, yes, of course, but
Yeah.
yeah, Donna for me, I've never been a fan of her, and yeah, but it is going to be interesting, and Neil Patrick Harris as the toy maker is going to be interesting. It's going to be great to see Kate Stewart back as well. So I'm very looking for. I'm not so looking forward to seeing Beat the Meep. This is going to sound very cynical, but it's going to sell toys because it's cute, which I know is a very cynical angle, but yeah, but yes, overall, I'm looking forward to. I trust in Russell. He brought the show back. He delivered pretty much consistently for me. So yeah, I trust in him.
You trust him?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't asked this question to anyone yet, but I think because you're not as fan as Donna. So, are you more looking forward to like the new series with Shooty, or are you more looking forward to the 60th anniversary specials with David Tennant and Donna?
Oh well, that's interesting because obviously I am very looking forward to Shooty. Well, I don't know. I'm looking forward to them both, but I just wish that a perfect scenario would be the David Tennant specials without Donna.
Yeah. What is it about Donna that you really dislike then?
She's just, she's just too mouthy for me. I'm not generally a fan of Catherine Tate, and yeah, Donna, I was never a fan of her at all. The first, although I will admit her exit, that emotional
That was pretty sad, wasn't it?
scene where he wipes her memory. I mean, it's beautifully acted, and yeah, but no, Donna, I've never been a fan of her, and yeah, I'm not so enthusiastic. But maybe she'll be obviously a bit older and hopefully a bit wiser, maybe a bit toned down as well. So yeah, I guess it'll be interesting. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, she does seem. I guess that she will be more mature than last time.
Yes.
Because she is older. But so do you have a favorite like companion then that you do like?
Well, I think out of the classic era, let's see. I think because she bridges the classic and new eras, I suppose Sarah Jane Smith. Martha, certainly recent years, I was never so fussed about her. Um, Amy and Rory, I really do like them. I think they're great, and also I don't like romance in the TARDIS, to be honest.
You don't like them?
I think it's pretty pointless them doing romantic storylines because you know that the Doctor and companion are not going to be in love forever. So why do them? It's pointless. And I mean, obviously I'm biased. I'm not into romance, but and they never had it in the classic series. And I just think when you know it's going to end badly, why do it? It's pointless to me, really. So, but yeah, that's my view. So,
Yeah, like I do agree with that actually because I mean, as a kid, I did love Rose and the Doctor, but I think it's better without the love in it.
yes, exactly. There doesn't need to be romance. Just have them as good mates. Just traveling. There's no need for romance at all. At all.
What's your opinion on River and the Doctor then?
Well, that's a different one because River. River's timelines are always very funny, and also, she's, a member of his own race as well. So no, River is the one exception to the rule, I think. Um, yeah, no, I have no problems with that because yeah, it's kind of always been a relationship, and River is sort of half Time Lord as well, anyway. So no, but it's the human companions. I
Yeah.
think that I just think that shouldn't bother with romance because, like I say, it's just it's not going to work out. So why do it? It's
Mm.
pointless.
Yeah, you can see that, like, but you can see the difference between like Rose and the Doctor and Yaz and the Doctor, because I think the Yaz and the Doctor was like very rushed, you know. That it was really odd how that all came about. Like,
Well, why didn't they at least set it up from the beginning? If they did set it up from the beginning, but they decided to put it in these last few specials, and so it got rushed. And that again, the absolute mess from Chibnall there, just a complete mess from start to finish. And yeah, that's just one of many.
yeah, you did make me laugh, Will.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really get so passionate about the show. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's a good thing though. It's a good thing to be passionate about it.
it is, yeah, yeah, it is,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because you just want it to be really good and you don't want to be
Exactly, yeah,
disappointed. Um,
exactly, yeah.
and like, but are you really excited for this new era of Doctor Who? Are you got high hopes for it?
I am. I think it's back in the hands of Russell, and I'm delighted that he's back. And I think it's going to be some really good things for this era. Yes, just please, can we have no romance between Shooty and Millie? And yeah, and I just want some entertaining stories and
Mm,
some particularly epic finales as well. And
yeah, miss
yeah,
them.
just more of the same. I mean, obviously, it's a different era to when Russell last left. Lots of things have changed, but I think he can. I think he can deliver, and I'm confident that he and all the Bad Wolf team. And the good thing is, Jane Tranter and Julie Gardner, who were with him first time round, and Phil Collinson, that they were there. For that era, he's back with the people that's he knows and they know Doctor Who. So I'm really confident it's in the hands of the right people. So I trust them.
Yeah, they are all very good at what they do. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
they are all awesome. But yeah, there's so much to look forward to, and I agree. I don't think Shooty will be in a love relationship. I think more it will be they'll just be really good friends.
I,
I,
I, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
but
I'm fed up of romance and
would you be open? Do you like it though when like maybe companions, just like Amy and Rory, or perhaps people
oh
like that
yes,
are in
no,
love
no,
like that?
I've no problem with that because Amy and Roy, they could be married for the rest of their lives. Yeah, I've no problem with that. No, it's the problem is the companion falling in love with the Doctor. That's the problem I have, and that's something I want to see in the bin, and preferably never again, never again.
Yeah, like the Doctor doesn't, like you say, the Doctor doesn't have time to fall in love with people.
Well, exactly, exactly. It's well again. I'm in danger of repeating myself, but it's never going to end well. So just don't do it. Just don't do it.
You know, it's just gonna be a heartbreak at the end. You know how the ending's gonna be.
Well, yeah, exactly, exactly.
That is it. That is it. But lastly, before we finish, Will, because we spoke about so much,
Yes.
um, I know we could speak about Doctor Who all day. Um,
Yeah.
um, but for the 60th, is there something that you want to see happen? And is there anyone that hasn't been announced yet that you would like to see in the 60th anniversary?
Oh, can I say multiple people for who I want
Cool.
to be in
Yeah,
it?
yeah, of course you can.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I'd love to see Christopher Eccleston back, but I think the chances of that are very, very slim. That's the one downside of Russell coming back, is the chance of Chris coming back are even more slimmer. but I'd love to see Peter Capaldi back. I hope, Matt Smith back, and even more of Paul McGann, really. He's the one I really would love to see back, because, even I'd love a full adventure, a really proper episode with him. And so I'd like to see him back, Peter back, and Matt back. And I'd love to see Christopher Eccleston back, but realistically, I just don't think that's going to happen. What I do want to happen is for Donna to die. I know that's quite dramatic. And can I just explain why?
Yeah, explain why.
Okay, so in the modern series, we've not had any companion deaths. Well, they've been sort of deaths. Rose has sort of died, if you like, in our universe, but she's away in the parallel universe. Martha, left and is still alive. Donna, in a way, well, depending on the events of the 60th, without her memories, I guess you could say she's kind of that version of Donna. Well, in fact, they say in the dialogue, don't they? That version of Donna is dead. So I think the best, because I think it's pointless if you're going to bring Donna back for just to forget again. I mean, we had that in the End of Time with a brief bit. And I think if you're going to bring her back and to just forget, that's pretty pointless. You're going round in circles. So the only two options you've got is for her to live with her memories, no trouble, or to kill her off. And preferably, I do want her to die because I do want a proper companion death. No traveling around with no pulse, no being sent back in time, no, dead, properly dead. So I really, I think it'd be really good for the show, that really, and I think it would be a happy ending because if you think about it, Donna would still have her memories. Yes, she'd burn her, but at least she would die with her memories. It's far better to live with the memories you've got than to. It's far better to die with the memories you've got than to live with when you've lost the memories. So I think, that would be the best way. And ideally, what I'd love to happen is Donna to use a Dr. Donna powers, and as a callback to Eccleston saving Rose, absorbing the time vortex, Donna gives her powers to revive the 14th Doctor, which, we can presume, he's been hit and, to trigger the regeneration. And I'd quite like that. I think that'd be Donna saving the Doctor. I mean, that'd be good.
I think maybe that might. I think you're right there. I think Donna. It's either going to be the Doctor will sacrifice himself, but he didn't. He done that last time, I think. But yeah, I agree. I've had a lot of people want Donna to survive, but like you, it'd be interesting just to see that happen because I've seen a shot from Shooty, and he's at churchyard. So, and I've read that Shooty is going to be really kind of from the events of the 60th. He's got his all about healing.
Yeah. Apparently, I saw that. Yeah, he was at a graveyard. So yeah, I do want. We had it in the classic series. We've not had it in the new series. A proper companion death, and I think, and to be honest, this is probably the last time that Catherine said, I can't see her coming back,
No, yeah.
Down the line for the next anniversary. So yeah, just wrap up Donna's story here. Have her go out in a good way and sacrificing herself to save the Doctor.
I think
and
so.
Be done with it.
Yeah. But the only thing I would say is I think there'll be a massive uproar if that did happen.
Yes, I know there would be a backlash, but I really hope Russell has, proven that he's not the same writer and that he's not afraid to make bold decisions. But I think they'll be well written. But I'm hoping for some bold writing, and you can't get any bolder than killing a companion off as well.
It's going to be interesting. Would they do that on an anniversary episode? That's the thing we got to think about. But
Well, it is true, yeah, and
but
yeah.
like you, I'm all about changing things. It's different to when Russell was last year. And if we think about it, all the companions since, they might have died like Clara, but she didn't really. She went off in the TARDIS. So
Well, she still does die, but she's
yeah,
got a very long time before she does, and she's got no pulse. But no, I don't want any. That was one thing that bothered me about Stephen Moffat as well. Clara dies eventually, but it's kind of,
dragged. It dragged.
And then Bill, I was thinking, oh, I really hope she dies as a sideman, no cop out, and she's saved as well. So, yeah, no, I really do want Donna to die.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to wait and see from once we
Yes,
see.
absolutely. Yeah, I will be groaning if she lives and then she has to forget again because,
It wouldn't be the point, would it? If that
well,
happened.
exactly, we'd be going round the circus. We've already had that in the brief bit in the end of time, so it'd just be pointless to me, really,
Yeah,
if they did
yeah.
that.
It would be pointless, but we have to wait and see.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
We'll have
Not
to,
long now. Not long now.
not long at all. But by the time, because still at this moment of time, to anyone listening, watching, we do not know the release date. So this might
No,
go
exactly.
this might go out between the specials, before the specials, or after the specials. But we still don't know. So
Who
um,
knows?
but yeah, who knows? So we might be talking about something that's already happened, or we might not be talking about something that hasn't happened yet. But
Yeah.
we'll wait and see. At the end of the line. But Will, thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you very much, Mason. This has been I've really enjoyed it, and it's been great to hear your stories of Doctor Who and for me to share mine. And
Yeah,
yeah, thank you. And I hope everyone watching enjoys the 60th specials. And yeah, no, it's great. And if feel free if you want me to come back on the podcast, and I will happily do so as well.
no problem. Well, that'd be great. And yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. But
Yes.
to anyone listening, watching, like Will says, enjoy the 60th. If you haven't watched it already, or if it's on yet. It's all about this wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff. But
Get a move on,
yeah,
BBC. Give us the
yeah,
dates.
yeah.
Get a move on.
Well, yeah. At this moment in time, probably everyone knows, but who knows? Who knows? But thanks again, Will. I hope you have a nice rest of your day.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
and to anyone listening, watching, we'll see you in the next episode.
Yep. Bye.